you ever wondered why African cities look like this, while Western cities look like this? Look at that. That's Lagos, 20 million people, the commercial capital of Africa's largest economy. Nigeria has oil, Nigeria has gas. Nigeria has some of the most brilliant entrepreneurial people on the planet. Lagos is not a poor city. It's a rich city that has been looted into looking poor. In the 1950s, Lagos was a functional city, paved roads, working drainages. Then 1960 came, independence. The giant of Africa was born. Oil, gas, fertile land, a coast, 20 million people full of energy. And then what? The Carter Bridge is still being used today, was built in 1901 by the British. Nigeria has not built a credible replacement in over 60 years of independence. The international airport is an embarrassment. Accra overlooked it, Nairobi overtook it, even Abidjan. This is what 60 years of self-governance looks like in Nigeria. But how? Dubai had no metro in 2025. By 2029, done, air-conditioned, on time, fully running. Lagos started planning its metro in 1983. It partially opened in 2023, 40 years later. 40 years! The national grid meant to power 200 million Nigerians regularly produces less electricity than Edinburgh, a Scottish city of 500,000 people. Nigeria has earned an estimated $1 trillion in oil revenue since the 1970s. $1 trillion, more than the entire Marshall Plan that rebuilt Western Europe after World War II, adjusted for inflation. So where is it? Sani Abacha, 5 years as dictator, stole between 3 and 5 billion, hidden in Swiss banks, London property, shell companies. That is one man. In 5 years, since 2023, the EFCC has prosecuted thousands of corrupt cases. Governors, ministers, senators, local government chairmen, thousands. 2022, 33 trillion naira, roughly $80 billion spent on fuel subsidies over a decade. Most of it fraud ghost beneficiaries. 2023, the Central Bank of Nigeria could not account for trillions of nairas under Godwin Emefiele. He was arrested. The problem is not money. The problem is what happens to it. It does not reach the roads, the hospitals, the schools, the drainage. It reaches Dubai real estate and London apartments. And Nigerians keep electing the same people. Which brings us to the question nobody wants to say out loud. Is it possible that black people simply can't manage countries? Because when you look at Nigeria and then look at Haiti and then look at certain black communities outside of Africa, there does appear to be a pattern, and people notice even if they don't say it. So let's say it and then let's answer it properly. Is there something genetic, something inherent, some biological inability to organize and govern? The answer is no, and here's the proof. Rwanda, 1994, genocide. The country was in physical, psychological, and economical ruin. Today, Kigali is one of the cleanest, most organized cities in Africa. Corruption persecuted aggressively. Citizens sweep streets every last Saturday of the month. Foreign investments flooding. Rwanda has no oil, it's landlocked. Its entire GDP is smaller than the personal wealth of one Nigerian, Aliko Dangote. And Kagame turned it around under 30 years. Botswana, independence in 1966. One of the poorest countries on earth, no infrastructure, no industry. Today, stable democracy, one of the highest GDP per capita in sub-Saharan Africa. The problem is not race. It was never race. The problem is the governance, accountability, and a culture of impunity Nigeria has let define it for 60 years. Rwanda exists, Botswana exists, the model is proven. So the only question left is, what does Nigeria with 100 times more resources than Rwanda looks 100 times worse? Nigeria Senate earn more than a senator in the UK, Germany, Canada, countries with working government, countries with functional roads and hospitals. Nigeria Senate earn more and deliver less. In 2023, Nigeria spent more on debt repayment than on health, education and infrastructure combined. More money paying back loans for projects that were never completed than money going to the people. Local government in Nigeria almost dead. 77 local government areas constitutionally required to deliver basic services. Most hollowed out, funds stolen before they arrive. This is why Lagos floods every rainy season for 30 years straight and nothing changes. So what do Nigerians do? They buy their own generator, build their own boreholes, build their own roads inside private estates. The Nigerian middle class has private its own survivor, and in doing so removed every reason for government to perform. While Singapore built its port, Nigeria argued about which tribe deserves the presidency. While South Korea built semiconductors, Nigeria debates whether the CBN governor should be Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. White China ended extreme poverty for 800 million people. Nigeria split over whether Muslim or a Christian should sit in Aso Rock. This is not accidental, this is the con. A population arguing about tribe and religion is a population not asking where the oil funds is gone to. Nigeria's population today is 220 million. In 2050, it will be 400 million. Third most populous country on earth. 400 million in a country that cannot power 20 million. Hospitals running out of basic drugs, doctors, patient ratio among the worst on earth. And why? Because the doctors Nigeria train leave. Nigeria pays to train them. The UK and Canada collect the returns. And while the best leave, the population keeps growing. Switzerland, 8 million people, more economically productive than all of West Africa, 400 million people. Taiwan, 23 million, no natural resources, richer than the entirety of sub-Saharan outside South Africa. Numbers mean nothing without the system to support them. 1980, Lagos and Seoul, same GDP per capita. Today, South Korea is global technology giant. Nigeria still can't keep the lights on. In 1980s, Cameroon, Nigeria, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Gabon all had higher GDP per capita than South Korea, Indonesia, and China. Nigeria was wealthier per person than China in 1980. China has since ended extreme poverty for 800 million. Nigeria has added more poor people to the world than almost anyone else. UAE, desert in 1970s, no skyline, nothing. In under 30 years, world's tallest building, busiest airport, global financial center, zero oil dependency. What is Nigeria's excuse? Not colonialism. Rwanda was colonized more brutally. Not resources. Nigeria has more than Singapore, Rwanda, and the UAE combined. Not talent. Nigerian professionals are among the most wanted in the world. They run hospitals in London, they build infrastructures in Canada, they create billion-dollar companies in Houston. The talent is there, the resources are there. The only thing missing is the system and the will to build it. No more big talk. Here's what must change. End impunity, real prison time, real asset seizure, real disqualification from office, not tribunal that drag for 5 years, not plea bargains where you steal 10 billion return to and work free. Judge leaders by what they build. Full stop. These are minimum conditions of a city that respects its people. Nigeria is called the giant of Africa, but a giant that cannot pave its streets, power its homes, or stop its leaders from stealing. It's not a giant, it's a giant in chains that it made for itself. Share this video, comment, tell us where Nigeria gets it right and where it keeps getting it wrong. Okay, well, why do you think Lagos is so dirty?
Full of bottled water, coke, plastic coke, bottled water, and some many things, some other things.
So what do you think can be done to solve this dirtiness problem?
We need a lawman to come and clean everything for us, to come and remove it away. We need a lawman boss and people that will work to move everything away.
So you think the problem is the people or the government?
It's the people, because the people that are putting the dirty on the floor. So we need to bring people to bring lawman and to clear everything away. But it's people that are bringing the dirty.
So it's people that are dumping dirty on the floor.
Yeah, it's people that are not.
When you finish your dirt, where do you drop? Where do you throw it?
Likewise me, I look for a dustbin pack. I open it, I throw my own inside for my own side.
But the problem is that as you see this whole place now, there's no single dustbin bag. This is a bus stop, and when people drink their bottle finish, they have no choice.
Yeah,
most of the time to drop it on the floor. So I would say partly, if the government provides us infrastructure for people to be able to do their own side of this, then they can do it. Apart from those people that just pack dirt, refuse from their house and dump it on the road.
Yes.
Well, why do you think Nigeria is so dirty?
I think Nigeria is so dirty because of the citizens themselves.
Why do you think Nigeria is so dirty?
I feel like number one, people are complacent and they have this I really do not care attitude. So I'll just do whatever I want to do.